The New York State Tax Department is now reviewing the allegations in that epic and explosive New York Times investigation, illustrating potential frauds, scams, and more on the part of the Trumps. For a president who made a lot of money off his billionaire image in books and on The Apprentice, this story punctures what now appears to be the myth of the self-made man.
It's not been easy for me. It has not been easy for me.
It's a classic bootstrap story, as the president paints it, basing his brand on making a lot out of a little.
My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
I built a company that's worth more than $10 billion, okay? With $1 million loan.
Turns out it was not $1 million, but the equivalent today of $413 million the president received from his father's real estate empire over the years, according to an exhaustive investigation by the New York Times. The paper says much of this money came to Mr. Trump because he helped his parents dodge taxes. He and his siblings set up a sham corporation to disguise millions of dollars in gifts from their parents, with records indicating Mr. Trump helped his father take improper tax deductions worth millions more. Tax experts describe what they think could be a pattern of deception and obfuscation.
I borrowed very little money from my father. What I did borrow, and the thing that really helped me with my father, was his knowledge.
Fred Trump was enormously wealthy. He found innovative ways to begin moving that money to his children in ways that either outright evaded or in some cases appear to have broke tax laws.
The report says as a toddler, Donald Trump was earning more than many adults, $200,000 a year from his father Fred's businesses. He was a millionaire by age 8 and continued receiving money well into adulthood. But he and his family avoided big tax hits on much of it via questionable schemes, according to the Times. The paper calls the most overt fraud a company created by the Trumps in the early 90s, All County Building Supply, that siphoned millions of dollars from Fred Trump's empire by simply marking up purchases already made by his employees. The Times based its reporting on tens of thousands of pages of financial records, like bank statements and tax returns, documents NBC News has not independently seen or reviewed. The White House now suggesting the Times owes President Trump an apology. In a statement, the press secretary says Fred Trump has been gone for nearly 20 years, and it's sad to witness this misleading attack against the Trump family by the failing New York Times. Many decades ago, the IRS reviewed and signed off on these transactions. The president's attorney, Charles Harder, says the allegations of fraud and tax evasion are 100% false and highly defamatory. Experts tell the paper it's not likely the president would be vulnerable to any kind of criminal penalties in the case of any wrongdoing because all of this happened so long ago and the statute of limitations has run out. But there is no time limit on civil fines. Hoda?
All right, Hallie Jackson. Hallie, thank you.